Bricks, it's Brickley here, and in today's LEGO The Lord of the Rings video, we're actually going to be taking a look at the top 10 missed LEGO The Lord of the Rings minifigures, and these figures were never made by LEGO, which is such a shame because there were so many potential designs within the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game with a lot of official LEGO designs, which also came into sets, and LEGO decided to really not create a lot of epic characters from the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game. They had so many awesome and epic potential designs, but they just decided not to give us what we wanted. They gave us, well, a lot of sets, but already not enough for us LEGO The Lord of the Rings fans. So if you want the LEGO The Lord of the Rings theme to return, of course support me by leaving a like on this video. Go subscribe if you are new to Brickley, and of course ring that notification bell to stay updated on when I post a LEGO The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit video on my YouTube channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the top 10 minifigures LEGO missed out on. The first minifigure we're going to be taking a look at is the Elven Soldier, appearing in the Two Towers and the Return of the King movie. And also, in addition to that, this minifigure was designed for the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game, so when I played the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game, I expected to buy a LEGO Elven Soldier one day, but unfortunately, LEGO never produced this minifigure. I think it's such a shame because LEGO really could have designed an elephant or something. The Oliphants from the Lord of the Rings trilogy really were epic. You could see them in the Two Towers movie, of course, where Frodo and Sam were taking a look at the Oliphants, and they were sort of seen as the scouts of the enemy by Faramir's hunting party. But I think that it really would be epic to see some of these minifigures in LEGO sets. For example, in an Oliphant set for the battle at Pelennor Fields, where they were just charging in, destroying the army of Rohan, and finally being defeated by the Ghost Army, of course, led by Aragorn himself. On the 9th place of the top 10 missed LEGO The Lord of the Rings minifigures, we got an Elven Lord from the Fellowship of the Ring movie, who is the Lord of Lothlorien, the husband of Lady Galadriel, the Lady of the Golden Wood. And this is Lord Celeborn, of course, and this figure would have gone so well with a Lothlorien set. In one of my previous videos, we actually looked at 5 missed LEGO The Lord of the Rings locations, where I showed you a lot of set ideas for some epic locations LEGO never made. So if you want to check those, well, top 5 missed LEGO The Lord of the Rings locations, be sure to click the card in the top right corner of your screen to watch that video. And talking about Lord Celeborn, I completely understand that LEGO never made that minifigure because he didn't have a lot of screen time in the Fellowship of the Ring anyways, but on the other hand, I think that LEGO definitely should have made him for a potential LEGO Lothlorien set, because he is the Lord of Lothlorien. And on top of that, LEGO already had a LEGO Lord Celeborn design in their LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game. As you can see over here, this minifigure looks quite outstanding with some epic torso printing over here, which I'm really fond of. You can see some sort of, well, necklace made of twigs on this minifigure, which really looks great. So he really resembles the Lord of Lothlorien, an Elven Lord. And I think it would have been great to add another Lord of the Elves to your LEGO Elven collection. I mean, we got Lord Elrond, we got King Thranduil, we even got Legolas Greenleaf Tauriel, we got Arwen, but we didn't get Lord Celeborn. And we even got Lady Galadriel in a LEGO The Hobbit set. So it would have been great to have received a LEGO Lord Celeborn from LEGO in a potential LEGO Lothlorien set. On the 8th place, we got a LEGO Easterling, and this minifigure was actually featured as a character in the Two Towers movie. The first thing that stood out to me when I looked at these Easterling minifigures featured in the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game is that they have a lot of similarities with the official Easterlings from the Two Towers movie. You can see the same helmet over here, which is awesomely detailed. We get some shoulder plates and a really interesting armor piece for, of course, the torso of the minifigure, and a lot of detailing on the armor as well, as you can see over here. So I think it would have been great that if LEGO ever created a LEGO Easterling minifigure, because they were, well, in screen time for a couple of minutes, and you could have set up a couple of awesome scenes with the LEGO The Lord of the Rings Black Gate set. And speaking of the Black Gate, I'm actually creating a huge Battle at the Black Gate mock, and I'm actually searching for some Easterling minifigures. So if you have any leads on some epic custom LEGO The Lord of the Rings Easterling minifigures, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, because I'm eager to collect some Easterling minifigures to really set up that scene where Frodo, Sam, and Gollum are taking a look at the Black Gate and they suddenly see the Easterlings marching in. And if you are interested in watching my Building Mortar and LEGO series, I highly suggest that you go and click the card in the top right corner of the screen to save the playlist to which I manually add all of the Building Mortar and LEGO episodes. I'm currently working on the Battle at the Black Gate scene, and it's truly going to be epic. It's already becoming so huge, and I want to thank every single one of you who already has watched the series for your support. On the 7th place of the top 10 Missed LEGO The Lord of the Rings minifigures, we're going to be taking a look at Gothmock, the orc leader we can see in the Return of the King movie. And LEGO actually released this figure for the Lord of the Rings video game. As you can see over here, we got this sort of a little gruesome minifigure. LEGO created this design for the LEGO Lord of the Rings video game. As you can see over here, we got the closed eye, we got this sort of weird left arm, we got an awesome, well, torso breastplate over here, not looking like the one from the Uruk-hai. So I think that this breastplate really looks great to use for some mortar orcs as well, not only for Gothmock. So I think it would have been really great if LEGO released the LEGO Gothmock minifigure, because he appeared frequently in the battle at Minas Tirith and of course the battle at Pelennor Fields. So I think it would have been really great to have had a LEGO Gothmock minifigure. On top of the battle at Minas Tirith and Pelennor Fields, Gothmock also appeared in the Fall of Osgiliath. He was commanding a lot of orcs to attack the city. Overall, I think it would have been great if LEGO made a LEGO Gothmock minifigure. Next up, on the 6th place, we got Iowyn, the sister of Eomer, and this is one of the protagonists of the story from the Two Towers and the Return of the King movies in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I think that it would have been great if we had received a LEGO Eowyn minifigure from LEGO. They could have included her in a medal set haul, for example, with Edoras, or on the other hand, also in the caves from Helm's Deep, maybe a little add-on to the official Helm's Deep set, with the main fortress itself leading into the caves where all the women and children were actually safe in the caves. So it would have been pretty fantastic if LEGO will actually release Eowyn. As you can see over here, from the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game, we got Eowyn, and I think it is a pretty great design for Eowyn herself. In addition to that, it would have been quite awesome if we had received Eowyn in some Rohan disguise or something, like the battle at Pelennor Fields, where she eventually fought the Witch King and ended up being victorious. That would have been a great minifigure to add to your LEGO The Lord of the Rings collection as well. Moving on to the 5th place in the top 10 missed LEGO The Lord of the Rings minifigures, we got the Elven Soldier of Lothlorien from the battle at Helm's Deep scene over here. The only thing LEGO had to do for this minifigure is just create another Haldir minifigure just without the cape, and they had to add a quiver on top of that with a spear or a bow, and then finally they had to add a helmet over here. As you can see, this helmet is used in the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game. It's such a superb design. I think no one else can pull off a better design than LEGO themselves for this helmet. It looks so similar to the design of the Two Towers battle at Helm's Deep. As you can see over here, we got the Elven helmets next to the ones from LEGO, and it just looks so superb. I think it would have been really great to have a huge Lothlorien army marching into the Hornburg of Helm's Deep. It would have been so great to set up all of those scenes with the elves instead of just using some Mirkwood elves you got from some poly bags. So, in my opinion, it would have been great if LEGO, had added one or two Elven Soldiers to the Battle at Helm's Deep set, or maybe even to the Uruk-hai army set. Another hyped up character from the Lord of the Rings trilogy is of course Faramir, and he's landed on the 4th place of the top 10 missing LEGO The Lord of the Rings minifigures, and I think that Faramir should have been included in the LEGO Lord of the Rings sets because he is one of the protagonists of the story. I mean, he is holding Sam and Frodo hostage, he is changing Gollum in such a way that Gollum becomes evil, and on top of that, he is Denethor's son. He is trying to retake Osgiliath. It would have been great to have Faramir within maybe even an Osgiliath set, or even some other set with Rangers, for example, or the Oliphant set with, of course, those Haradrim soldiers. That would have been great to have a Faramir minifigure within the LEGO Lord of the Rings theme. On the 3rd place, we got the LEGO Gondor Soldier. The design of the LEGO group was magnificent for this minifigure in the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game. As you can see over here, we got magnificent leg printing, and on top of that, awesome torso printing with the white tree of Minas Tirith on the torso with a brown belt, as you can see. And this minifigure was actually sort of light dark bluish gray, so as you can see over here, that's quite interesting. We got, of course, a sword, just a regular sword. That would have been epic to include in a battle pack. And then finally, the best part of this minifigure, which is just a regular Gondor helmet. That's the reason why I put this minifigure on the 3rd place. I want to build a big Gondor army for my Battle at the Black Gate scene, and that's just not possible because LEGO never released this minifigure in some sort of Minas Tirith battle pack, and that's where this minifigure actually should have been put. It would be a great idea for LEGO to make a small wall piece of Minas Tirith which you could add to a bigger Minas Tirith, for example, to build the bigger walls, and then finally just add 2 or 3 Gondor soldiers and a couple of orcs to that, with maybe even an orc tower or a troll, just to make a little army builder for your LEGO The Lord of the Rings collection. That would really be great if LEGO ever is going to release the LEGO Lord of the Rings theme again. They gotta include LEGO Gondor soldiers because they are just so wanted. Even back in the days, I could see a lot of custom Gondor soldiers being made from official LEGO pieces, which really weren't similar to the real thing over here. And you can see the design over here is similar to the real Gondor soldier helmet from the movie. And those soldiers really were looking epic up on the walls of Minas Tirith. I think it would be superb if LEGO released a Gondorian soldier minifigure. As you all know, LEGO created the Nazgul with the Weathertop set, actually. They included 2 of the Nazgul minifigures, so you could actually collect the full 9 Nazgul of the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, and of course the other movies. But LEGO also hyped the Witch King of Angmar, and that's why we're gonna go and put the Witch King of Angmar on the 2nd place of the top 10 missed LEGO The Lord of the Rings minifigures over here. We got the Witch King of Angmar, and it would have been so easy for LEGO to design this minifigure. They already had the design of the Witch King within the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game, and of course within all of their posters. As you can see over here, we got a commercial poster for the LEGO The Lord of the Rings. We got the Witch King of Angmar on top of the Fell Beast, so they could have also designed the Fell Beast on top of that. That would have been great for LEGO to do for a lot of LEGO The Lord of the Rings fans. Of course, the Return of the King movie, that would have been superb. And in addition to that, I could have included, number 6, of course, Iowyn, so that would have been great. But the helmet design of the LEGO minifigure really is similar to the one of the movie. We got the sort of narrow design of the Witch King's helmet with all of the spikes and such, and I think that LEGO really would have been able to pull it off. So I think it would be great if LEGO ever creates a Witch King of Angmar minifigure. And finally, on the 1st place, we got, of course, the bad guy of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Sauron himself. LEGO created a superb design for this minifigure with magnificent details on his shoulders. You got the shoulder over here, his armor. We got on top of that a cape. We got some epic leg printing, his huge mace, and then finally his superb designed helmet. So I think that LEGO definitely should have released a Sauron minifigure, and they could have maybe given him some sort of longer legs or something to make him stand out a little more among the other minifigures, because he was taller in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and that would have been really cool to see. I mean, they had the design in the LEGO The Lord of the Rings video game. On top of that, also in the LEGO The Hobbit game, and then finally in the LEGO Dimensions game, LEGO Sauron actually also played a small role. So that would have been really great for LEGO's marketing to release a Sauron minifigure, maybe even in a pricey set. I would have been okay with that. Maybe a $400 Barad-dûr set, maybe? That would have been great to include a LEGO Sauron minifigure. Just to have the big bad guy lead all your orc armies would be fantastic. I mean, right now I actually have a bunch of orcs, and if you haven't seen my LEGO The Lord of the Rings minifigure collection, go click the card on the top right corner of your screen. But I want to have Sauron. I want to have the big bad guy leading his orcs to the Black Gates, to any battle I have on display. I want to have the big bad guy with the one ring of power on his mace, well, on his hand, actually. That would be so cool to have a Sauron minifigure. So, in my opinion, LEGO should definitely revisit the LEGO The Lord of the Rings theme to create all of these minifigures, which they've apparently missed. And there's a ton of other minifigures, so we're going to cover those in future videos. But if there are any other LEGO The Lord of the Rings minifigures you would like to see, let me know in the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy this video, support it by leaving a like. Of course, go subscribe to Brickley if you are new to my channel, and ring that notification bell to stay updated on when I post LEGO The Lord of the Rings videos. And of course, on top of that, share this video with all of your Lord of the Rings fans. And I'll see you all in the next video.
It's in the air like a blazing flare.